This is going to be the last video in this little mini series. So in this question, we are going to solve cosine of x plus 1 equals sine of x. Now this question is different than the rest of them because if I were to try to just move my sine over, I can't factor it. And I don't have a Pythagorean identity. I don't have a cosine squared and I don't have a sine squared. So I have to ask myself, what can I do to make this question work? Now remember, algebra's golden rule is you can do anything you want as long as you do it to both sides of the equation. So right now I have a cosine and I have a sine. I don't want them to mingle. I want to change everything either in terms of cosine or everything in terms of sine. So one way to do that is if I had a sine squared, then I know that sine squared is 1 minus cosine squared of x. This is a trig identity. But I just added a squared there. Can I just add a squared there? I can if I add a squared to this side. One thing I want you to notice is I squared both sides. I didn't square and square. That would be adding two squareds. And I didn't multiply by a sign on both sides. I squared both sides. So I squared both sides. So this turns into cosine of x plus 1 times cosine of x plus 1. You have to multiply this all the way out. Essentially, you're reverse factoring. And so when you factor, you try to find the two things that multiply to the first thing, multiply to the last thing, and add to the middle. So we could reverse factor that way. Or you can simply just go whoop and get cosine of squared x, whoop, cosine of x, whoop. This is called foiling. You do first, outer, inner, last. It's called foiling. And this all equals 1 minus cosine squared of x. You're going to combine your like terms. You have two of them. So you have cosine squared of x plus 2 cosine of x plus 1 equals 1 minus cosine squared of x. Now, the fun thing about this is everything is in terms of cosines. I have more than one term that has an x. So when I have more than one term that has an x, I get everything to the same side and I factor. So I'm going to subtract 1 and I'm going to add a cosine squared. Looks like this. I've got 2 cosine squared of x plus 2 cosine of x, that's 0, equals 0. Okay, so I have two terms with a cosine of x in them. I'm going to factor out my greatest common factor. My greatest common factor is 2 cosine of x. That's going to leave me with cosine of x plus 2 equals 0. If you're confused on what I just did there, if you're like, what the heck did you just do? That's good because this should be 1, not 2. Oh no, that whiteout doesn't work. This should be 1. I got a little excited. Now you're going to set each of your factors equal to 0. If you're confused on what I did, go back, watch a previous video. I do show how to factor by the greatest common factor. Okay, so this is going to be when does cosine of x equal 0. This is going to be when does cosine of x equal negative 1. This is x equals, I can take my chart here, going down cosine pi over 2 and 3 pi over 2. And then this one is pi. So there are our answers there. So the biggest part of this one was how do I manipulate the question so that I only have one trig function, and that was the squaring both sides.